and welcome to the Jewish Cooking Connection, sponsored by the Jewish Federation of the Greater San Gabriel and Pomona Valleys. I'm Carol Ozer, and I go to Temple Beth David in Temple City. So today I would like to talk to you about my Noodle Kugel. Noodle Kugel is one of the most wonderful dishes that I grew up on eating and enjoying. So let me tell you a little about the ingredients. First, we start off with our egg noodles, Manischewitz brand, cottage cheese, raisins, eggs, butter or margarine, jam, and cinnamon sugar. Cinnamon sugar is a 1/4 cup of sugar and a tablespoon of cinnamon. And also your cooking spray, which will work really well on your glass baking pan when you use it. Let's start by turning your oven on to 350 degrees. Then take your 9x13 glass baking dish and spray with some cooking spray. There you go. And we can set this aside till we're ready to use it. So, I would think you would begin with boiling your noodles to the package directions. Let them boil only for 5 to 7 minutes. You really don't want them to be overcooked. You want them to hold their shape, and you want to make sure that there are no really big clumps in there. Once that is done, you can set them aside, and we can now start on with the other ingredients. So to begin blending together with the cottage cheese, it's 3 cups of cottage cheese. I use 4% fat in this because it really adds a lot of flavor and it holds up well. There are other fat contents of other ones, 2% non-fat. It's really up to you and what you like, but this does the job really well. To that, we're going to add our 3 eggs, slightly beaten, our raisins that have been soaked in hot water until they get plumped. It's about 60 seconds, not much. And they really just come to life when you do that. It's amazing. Now we're going to add our cinnamon sugar. And the cinnamon sugar is a 1/4 cup of regular sugar with 1 tablespoon of cinnamon in it. And let's take about a tablespoon of it and set it aside for sprinkling on top. We're going to put this in. And here we go. Let's mix this up. Oh, the smell is unbelievable. You are just going to love this. Okay, now we're ready to combine in our noodles. Really, really easy to do. And if it's just kind of let them gently bring them in there, kind of pull them apart a little bit. You can use your spoon or whatever instrument, tool, etc. you have to help you out here. Let's put them in, and then we go for the big mix. It's going to take just a few seconds. Now, this recipe was originally sent to me from my mom in the 1980s in a letter, and I still have it, and it's just wonderful that she had shared that with me, and I've been able to make this recipe ever since, and it's always been a really good winner. Okay, so this looks like it's pretty well mixed now. We want to make sure that everything is incorporated nicely and that it will all bake evenly. I'm going to bring back our prepared baking dish and we're going to add this in. There we go. Looks good. Get every little raisin. Okay, put this aside and spread it evenly in your dish. It's very easy to do. This is a kind of what they say, a no-brainer. Now, to the top of this, we're going to sprinkle on our reserved cinnamon sugar. And you could use as much or as little as you like. Some people like more, some people like less. It's all about your taste. Okay. And now I'm going to take, and you can use 2 tablespoons of butter or margarine in this recipe. My mother was a real big margarine person. And for that, because of her, I'm using it in this recipe today. So this is the part where you just dab on your pieces of margarine or butter. And this is where it gets a little, your hands can get a little involved because it's easier just to flick it off with your finger. And you just kind of go along little pieces. And this is really going to help brown it up on top. Some people like it really crunchy on top. There's just nothing not to like about this. Okay. And to that, we have the jam. Now, today I'm using Trader Joe's raspberry jam. I really think that this has a really good zing to it, and it helps bring the taste to life. Traditionally, we have used strawberry jam, again, one of my mother's favorites. And I was just out shopping and I tried it and I said, this is great, I'm gonna use it. So that's why I decided to use that today. So you're gonna go along and just take little spoonfuls, dot it on, and then we'll be ready. It's that simple and that good. There's not anything that isn't to like. So now we're ready to put it in the oven. And here is your finished product. Ready to serve for lunch, dinner, brunch, wherever. So I hope you enjoyed watching me make a Noodle Kugel for you. And as my mother said at the end of her letter, Noodle Kugel is great served cold the next day if there's any left.
ברוך ומבורך בפי כל נשמה גדלו וטובו מלא עולם דעת ותבונה סובבים אותו המתגאה על חיות הקודש ונדר בכבוד המרכבה זכות ומשול לפני חיסו חסד ורחמים לפני כבודו